Oh, there's so many yummy vegetarian options out there. You could try like lentil soup, veggie burgers, tofu stir fry. The possibilities are endless. Why do you fail every January? Every single year, you set the goal. You feel that surge of a new beginning. And then, by February, nothing. The fire is out. You fail because you rely on a feeling. Hang on a second. A feeling? You're telling me motivation is the problem? I mean, passion, drive, that's the engine for everything great, isn't it? It's what gets people to even start.
It is the fundamental illusion. It's the great lie we're all sold, and it's the very first thing we have to shatter if we're going to build anything that lasts.
Look, we need to get really clear about what motivation actually is. It's just a chemical spike of dopamine in your brain. And yeah, it feels powerful, it feels electric, like you can do anything. But it is temporary. It's an event, not a state of being. So it's basically a sugar rush. It feels amazing for a minute, but the crash is coming no matter what. Exactly. Trying to build your life on motivation is like trying to power a city with lightning strikes. You get these brilliant, incredible flashes of energy, and then darkness. It's a great show, for sure, but it's totally useless for providing consistent power. Okay, all right, I get it. Motivation is fickle. So if it's not motivation, it must be willpower, right? Just pure grit. The ability to force yourself to do the thing no matter how you feel. That's the real secret.
That's another beautiful and even more dangerous illusion. I want you to think of your willpower not as some infinite well of strength, but as a battery. It starts the day fully charged, and with every single decision you make, it just drains bit by bit.
What should I wear? What am I going to eat for breakfast? Which email do I answer first? Every choice, no matter how tiny, is a withdrawal from your willpower account. This isn't just a theory. It's a documented phenomenon called decision fatigue. It's the real reason why someone like Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray t-shirt every day.
I seriously just thought that was some weird billionaire quirk.
No, it's system design. He's not trying to make a fashion statement. He's conserving his finite mental energy, that willpower battery, for the decisions that actually matter. By 6 p.m., most of us have made hundreds of these tiny decisions, and our battery's completely dead. And that's why you order takeout instead of cooking. That's why you watch TV instead of working on your future. It is not a moral failing. It's a design flaw in your day.
So this brings us to a fundamental choice. There are really only two ways to approach your life, two mindsets you can live by. You can be the laborer, or you can be the architect.
The laborer, the amateur, wakes up and asks his feelings for permission. Do I feel motivated today? And if the answer is no, well then nothing important gets done. His entire potential is held hostage by some temporary chemical state he can't even control. The architect, the pro, wakes up and consults the blueprint. The plan, the one he designed yesterday or last week when he was thinking clearly. For the architect, feelings are totally irrelevant to the function that needs to be performed. You know, I have to say, that just sounds cold, almost robotic. Aren't you stripping the humanity out of it? The passion, the spontaneity? What you're doing is replacing a fragile, emotional process with a resilient, logical one. And this brings us to the core thesis of this whole thing. You do not rise to the level of your goals. Your grand ambitions are totally meaningless when you're exhausted and distracted. You fall to the level of your systems. What you get in life isn't determined by how big your dreams are, but by the quality of what you do by default.
So that's the solution then? Just become a machine? Automate my life? Follow a script? And just turn into a robot? That's really the path to success?
No. And that is the absolute critical misunderstanding. You become a robot for the boring stuff so you can finally be human for the creative stuff. You automate the mundane, the workouts, the meal prep, the foundational work, to free up your precious mental energy for what actually requires your humanity, your creativity, your strategy, connecting with people, deep thought. You build a cage of discipline to finally set your mind free.
A cage of discipline to set your mind free? Okay, I actually really like that. So how do you build this cage? I mean, where do you even start?
You start by understanding that none of this is about magic or motivation. It's about physics. Simple, manageable physics.
The law of action is really simple. Every single action has some amount of friction to it, the energy it takes to get started. Your job as the architect is to just manipulate that friction. For the good habits you want to build, you reduce the friction to practically zero. You want to practice guitar? Don't leave it in the case in the closet. Put it on a stand right in the middle of your living room.
So you make it easier to do it than to not do it. What about bad habits?
You do the exact opposite. You increase the friction like crazy. You want to stop mindlessly scrolling on your phone?
Delete the apps or sign out every single time you use them. You want to watch less TV? Unplug the thing and put the remote in another room. You design your environment so that the right choice is always the path of least resistance. Here is the perfect, most tangible example. Do not wake up and decide if you have the willpower to go to the gym. That is the laborer's game, and I promise you it is rigged against you. The architect's blueprint is this. The night before, you pack your gym bag. You place it right in front of your front door.
So you literally can't leave without dealing with it.
Exactly. When you wake up, there is no decision to make. The blueprint just says, pick up the bag and walk out the door. The debate is over. You literally have to trip over your own good intentions to fail. You have engineered the outcome you wanted. And this leads us to the final and maybe the most crucial mindset shift. You have to stop trying to be the hero of your own story. What do you mean by that? We're always told to be the hero, right? To fight the good fight. We romanticize the struggle. We love the idea of the hero who wakes up every day and, just through sheer force of will, battles temptation and wins. But that is a fool's game. It requires a fully charged battery every single morning. Heroes fight the same battle over and over. And you know what? Eventually, heroes get tired. The goal is not to win the daily fight. The goal is to become a strategist who designs a life where the fight never even has to happen. Let this be your mantra. Amateurs, the laborers, they sit around and they wait for that lightning strike of inspiration. They wait to feel like it. Professionals, the architects, they get up and they follow the schedule they built. They execute the blueprint, period, regardless of how they feel. They understand that action comes before motivation, not the other way around. So stop wishing for motivation. Stop hoping you'll magically get more willpower. They're fickle allies that will abandon you the second things get tough. Start building your systems. Start being an architect.